Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University. School of Agriculture, SOA. Diploma in Dairy Technology, DDT. BPVI 012 Dairy Equipment and Utilities. Block 1 Dairy Equipment and their Maintenance. Unit 3 Dairy Equipment for Milk Products Processing, 3.0 Objectives. After reading this unit, we should be able to identify equipment required for the manufacture of butter and cheese at small and medium scale. Various types of ice cream making equipment in use. Machines and equipment needed to produce condensed and dried milk. Different ghee making equipment. Khoa making equipment available in the country. Equipments needed for mechanized manufacturing of dahi and lassi. Mechanization of acidic coagulated products. 3.1 Introduction. In the unit, we have learnt as to how a dairy plant should be planned for processing of fluid milk and how selection of various equipment for pasteurized and standardized milk should be done. The usefulness of clarification and cream separation to produce good quality standardized fluid milk has been discussed. Importance of homogenization and inline filling has been explained. How a fluid milk plant is cleaned without opening the equipment has also been explained in brief. Certain aspects of building construction such as type of flooring, walls, ceiling, ventilation and flies control have also been discussed. In this unit 3, we will learn about equipment required for the manufacture of milk products. Milk products are made in every country and therefore, a simpler classification is done as Western and indigenous milk products. The equipment required for the Western milk products like butter, ice cream, cheese and milk powder will be discussed. The emphasis will be given on small level operation, while a passing reference will be made for large scale operations. Similarly, indigenous milk products such as ghee, curd, lassi, khoa, etc. will be discussed in detail. Attempt will be made to compare certain similarities of Western and indigenous milk products like butter vs makan, ice cream vs kulfi, cheese vs paneer, curd vs yogurt, etc. In order to generate interest for readers, some basic principles involved in the manufacture will be discussed. Smaller equipment will need little care and maintenance, while the larger equipment will need more attention. Important aspects of maintenance will be explained along with the discussion on individual equipment. Every equipment has some unique features or specific requirement for its safe and uninterrupted operation. Wherever it is considered appropriate, a brief observation is made so that learner will take care during the selection of particular equipment. Since products vary from place to place and require regional attributes, it may not be possible to recommend any single equipment. After attaining the knowledge, you can select your own manufacturing strategy. 3.2 Butter and cheese making equipment. Butter is the name given by Western countries. In India, this product is referred as makhan, the country-made desi butter. The process line at domestic level varies and also the compositional parameters. The makhan is usually freshly made and consumed. The leftover, if any, is stored for manufacture of ghee. As the cream availability increases, the butter quantity manufacture exceeds the domestic level handling. Cream is, thus, handled through larger containers called aging vats. Cream aging vat. It performs the batch type pasteurization as discussed in UNIT 2. This tank has provision to store cream at 4°C. Hence, cream collected is stored overnight, pasteurized and then put into the churn. Churn. The churns are of cylindrical, conical, dice and top-shaped containers. They are made of stainless steel food grade AISI 304. Provision is made for slow revolution with changed direction of rotation. The churns are 1/3 to 1/2 filled with cream. During rotation the fat particles colloid with each other and form clumps. Care is taken that the temperature of cream, fat is maintained. I.e., the chilled water is sprayed over the churn during summer. The concussion is better achieved if the temperature of cream, fat remains between 45 to 55 O. F. The cylindrical churn will have internal baffle to break the motion of cream along with the cylinder body. While in other shaped churns, such provision may not be required. The churn will have a complete geared drive system to obtain different speeds, water spray mechanism to maintain temperature and guardrail to protect workers. Churn under rotation creates vibrations due to uneven shape and load, hence, proper foundation is essential. To facilitate operation, the churn is provided with an outlet in the form of manhole, buttermilk drain, sight glass, etc. Butter trolley. Butter prepared in the churn requires unloading. Hence, a hygienically designed stainless steel open-type trolley is required. The size of trolley should be such that it should accommodate all butter from the churn. If the quantity of butter made is less, one may collect butter in other containers, provided they are clean and designed to handle food products. IV. Continuous butter manufacturing equipment. If the quantity of cream availability further increases, a continuous butter making machine could be used. Most common and convenient machine is CONTIMAB. Although there are two other types of continuous equipments available in the market. In this machine, all steps required in butter making such as churning, working, salting, etc. are done in a continuous manner. The cream of 30 to 40% richness keeps flowing into a cylindrical churn. The churn delivers clumped fat mass into the working zone, while the buttermilk is drained. During working, the texture modification, moisture regulation, color addition, salt mixing etc. are obtained. The end product in the form of rectangular slabs comes out of the plant. It is, then, hooked with an appropriate packaging machine. Versus the cheese making equipment. These are cheese vat, knife, curd mill, hoops and press, etc. The cheese vat is used for coagulation and cooking and is made of stainless steel in rectangular shape. This vat is jacketed, allowing space for circulation of hot water between the inner and outer containers. It may or may not have an agitator as shown in the diagrams. During coagulation and cooking, agitator is used for uniform dispersion of coagulant. The whey is drained and the curdled mass is placed in cheese hoops for further matting and drainage of secondary whey. The pressure is applied through a cheese press on these hoops for expulsion of whey. Thus, the block of curdled mass is obtained. It is then waxed and stored for ripening. After ripening, cheese of different flavors is prepared for further processing as per the manufacturing requirements. 3.3 Ice cream making equipment. Ice cream and other frozen products manufacturing equipment may be classified as batch freezers, hand-operated, kulfi maker, direct expansion type batch freezers, and continuous freezers, etc. I. Hand-operated unit has a wooden cylindrical case to accommodate broken ice salt, a mix can and dasher assembly. The mix can is made of either aluminum or mild steel with tin coating. This is designed such that it is pivoted in the bottom and has a geared drive system. The dasher remains stationary to facilitate scraper of frozen mass and keep mix moving for better freezing efficiency. This unit is commonly used at domestic level. E. Kulfi maker. Little larger scale operation is through a kulfi maker. In this traditional method, the prepared mix is filled in the metal containers, usually cone, square shaped. The size of containers is such that the quantity is served once. These containers are placed in a clay pot or a metallic container, which is large enough to accommodate the broken ice. Salt is added to lower the freezing point, thus causing faster freezing. This type of kulfi maker is very common at entrepreneur level. Care is taken to seal the container to the extent that the brine water does not leak through in the product. E. Direct expansion type freezer. The batch freezers are the most common units. These are cylindrical in shape with one jacket for refrigerant and the other for insulation. The cylinder acts as an evaporator of a refrigeration system. It is made of stainless steel. Normally, this is of 6 kilograms and 12 kilograms mix holding capacity. After freezing, the volume of mix gets doubled as the air gets incorporated. The mix is agitated by the dasher. The dasher does two jobs, firstly to remove frozen mix from the inner shell, and second to agitate the mix such that the mix does not freeze into one solid mass. During agitation, a filtered atmospheric or pressurized air is sent into the mix. The air gets trapped, causing overrun of frozen mass. This increase in volume is called overrun. Continuous type freezer. As the scale of production increases over 500 kg per hour, the continuous or instant freezers are used. The mix is continuously pumped into the freezer cylinder and the frozen mass is discharged from the machine. The principle of freezing is the same, however improved automation and control are necessary. The desired amount of overrun and degree of freezing can be adjusted with these controls. Pumping of mix is half the volume of the ice cream outlet pump. Similarly, the dasher design is such that the mix flows from one end to outlet without backward flow. In both the freezers, the frozen mix coming out is in flowable state. It is soft at 10°, canned served as softy. The frozen product is filled into cups, bricks and put into hardening freezers for hardening and is served to consumers as ice cream. Soft serve freezers or softy plants are like batch freezers where soft frozen mix is directly drawn into edible cones or cups. Once the mix is frozen, the dashers keep rotating and the refrigerant is switched off. This way, the mix keeps in a flowable state and the temperature is between 5°C to 10°C. No hardening is required. 3.4 Evaporators and dryers. We know that the milk has around 85% water, hence, it can be condensed manifolds. By reducing the water content for the preparation of special dairy products like condensed milk and milk powders. Milk is normally surplus during winter months, while there is shortage during summer months. By reducing the bulk, the shelf life of the milk is also enhanced. This process will help in augmenting the supply during lean months. Milk evaporators. These are the equipment to concentrate milk, usually up to 40% total solids. This is done by boiling the milk under vacuum. When the milk is boiled under atmospheric pressure, it boils at 100.5°C. This temperature is so high that most of the nutrients will be lost. When the milk is boiled under vacuum, the boiling occurs at much lower temperature, say around 60°C. At this temperature, most of properties of milk are retained while the water gets evaporated. Milk evaporators are mainly of two types. Batch type milk evaporator, it is also called as vacuum pan. It is like a storage vat with provision of indirect heating and vacuum. Milk remains in the container for longer duration. Initially, a large amount of milk is loaded and slowly the batch gets concentrated. It is then cooled and stored. Since the evaporation occurs under vacuum, the chemical properties of milk remain unchanged and only partial water is removed. Fresh milk is loaded and the heating tubes are submerged. Steam heats tubes are surrounded by milk and vapors formed. A vacuum device removes these vapors. Concentrated milk is taken out from the bottom outlet. Continuous type. As the capacity of handling increases, there is need to get concentrated milk out in the continuous manner. Also in the batch system, the milk residence time is very high. It does affect the quality of the product. Long tube, rising or falling film type equipment are available in the market. These units are very tall and sophisticated in terms of their operation and control. The residence time of milk during evaporation is very short, i.e., usually few seconds only. Thus, the product quality is superior. Milk travels from one heat exchanger, calandria, to another in a continuous flow. The flow of milk is such that the velocity of milk is very high, giving very high rate of heat transfer. Whole system is under vacuum. Milk flow inside the tube could be either in rising or in falling manner. Accordingly, the evaporator is named. Another way of classifying is the number of heat exchanges involved. Single, double, triple or even multi-stage systems are available. This helps in economizing the steam consumption. Product enters the heater, and the heated milk is directed into a large calandria for evaporation. The concentrated milk falls into the vapor separator, from where the vapors are either recompressed with help of thermocompressor or sent into condenser-cum-ejector system. Dryers. Drum dryer. It has drums heated internally with high-pressure steam. These drums revolve with low speed in the direction the milk is supplied through feed pipe. It gets filled in between the drums. A layer of milk gets adhered on the surface of drum and it starts drying till it reaches the knife. The knife scrapes out the thin layer and drops the dried flakes into the conveyor. The dried product is taken out. The vapors generated over drums are sucked out through vapor hood. Milk during drying remains in contact with hot drum for relatively longer, causing denaturation of protein. Hence, powder obtained from this technique usually contains higher sediments. This powder is most suitable for indigenous milk product manufacture such as gulab jamun. These dryers are getting obsolete due to high energy requirement. Spray dryer. They dry partially concentrated milk and are considered energy efficient systems. In this equipment, fine spray of concentrated milk is supplied into a chamber. The spray encounters with hot incoming air. Direct contact with air takes away all moisture from the spray drops. Within seconds the drops turn into a dried powder particle. The particles are heavier than air, hence, they settle down and are collected. The air gets saturated with